favors by doing that Stephanie McMahon storyline. I didn't like any of it. And again, the same thing I'm going to say about this next guy is the same thing I said about Chris Benoit. Didn't appreciate him when it was happening. Looking back now, I realize how wrong I was, and that is the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, Bret Hart. Fucking hated Bret Hart. Fucking hated Bret Hart.
Was it just his character, or for what reason?
I think a big part of it is when I was young, he was doing that anti-American stuff, and I feel like that really pissed me off. That and just his arrogance and how good he thought he was. Those were the ones that reasons that I think really disconnected him from me. The reason I don't like him are those. Again, I go back now, I see what he did, and I realize how good he actually was. But at the time, hated him. You ready for number ones?
Actually, before we do, I actually do have one honorable mention. It's going to be, it would be Lance Storm, because there's just nothing creative about his appeal. I think a lot of people felt that way.
Yeah, he was very similar, except when I was watching, when he came over, I could see how good of a wrestler he actually was. So I feel like I had more favorable of an opinion about him because I could actually see how good he really was.
Yeah, I think you could ask Stone Cold Steve Austin. He begged to differ, I think, but it was a funny skit too.
Yeah. All right, so number one, my number one least favorite wrestler of all time. I didn't like his character. I didn't like the way he looked. I didn't like how he wrestled. I didn't like his attitude. I just didn't like anything about him except the fact that he had a guitar, and that is Jeff fucking Jarrett. I fucking hated Jeff Jarrett. Seriously, fucking hated him. I mean, I did like his entrance music back when he came down with Deborah, the more aggressive, rock sounding, less of the country bluegrass sounding one. His theme music was nice. Like I said, especially when he had Deborah. But no, Jeff Jarrett, fuck him. Fuck every company he's ever tried to start. He fucking sucks.
This is funny because you say the whole country appeal, then he helped start up TNA and Impact Wrestling. He goes back to the whole hard rock kind of appeal. So
yeah,
but no, I don't think he was always there, but I don't think he was definitely ever really that popular of a wrestler. More of a name.
When you hear things like that start like the catchphrases like Booker T's "Can you dig it, sucker?" Iconic. "Oh, you didn't know?" Iconic. "If you smell," iconic. Right? Those are all iconic fucking.
Yep.
"Don't piss me off." That pisses me off. I don't know why. I fucking hated him. I hated him when I was a little kid. Still hate him now. Jeff Jarrett, my number one least favorite wrestler of all goddamn time.
Interesting. Well, I think you're gonna like my number one because I think you would pretty much agree. So my number one least favorite of all time has to be Charlotte Flair because she was basically giving her dad spotlight.
Ah, God, yeah, Charlotte Flair. The problem is I can see how good she is, though. She is a good wrestler. She's got the look. She's got the athleticism. She's got the build. She sells really well. She's good. So I can't I can't hate her because of how the company pushes her. Same thing with John Cena. Like, I can't hate on John Cena like this just because the guy is good and the company realizes it.
Right, yeah.
But I mean,
I don't know.
I have no problem with you putting Charlotte Flair there because fuck her. She fucking screwed over my girl Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
So fuck
Just
her.
the fact that she's basically given cut the line privilege. So,
Yeah. So there it is. Your number one, Charlotte Flair. So my 5 through 1 were Matt Hardy, Goldberg, Christian, Chris Benoit, Jeff Jarrett. Your 5 through 1, who were they?
Started at number 5 was Hurricane. Number 4 was Steven Richards. Number 3, JBL. Number 2, Dolph Ziggler. Number 1, Charlotte Flair.
All right. So there's that. Now let's get into our favorite wrestlers of all time. Same thing, 5, 4, 3, 2, honorable mentions 1. All right, we'll have you lead this off again. Are you ready?
Yep.
Who's your number 5 favorite wrestler of all time?
Undertaker.
Undertaker. All right. Good.
Yep. The fact that he could always recreate himself, you know. The fact that to this day, I think people are more or less kind of worried about him now, but he had quite a long career.
Yeah, no, that's a very good pick. I'm just gonna give it away now. He's not on my list, but no, really good pick. I like it.
What do you got at number 5?
At number 5, I have the real men who wear skirts. Mosh, Thrasher, the Headbangers. They were always entertaining. I fucking love their attitude. I think part of the reason I like Punk so much is because of them. Because they really, with the their headbanging, their moshing in the ring, and their energy and charisma really was just infectious. Especially when you're a little kid, like I just thought it was great. And I know it's the gimmick because when one of them became Chaz, the wrestler Chaz, he sucked. All right, but the gimmick of the Headbangers was fucking awesome. Loved it. So that's my number 5.
Weren't they paired with ICP for a little bit too, or something?
I don't remember them being paired with ICP, but that doesn't mean they weren't.
Or maybe they were. I think maybe they had a match against each other or something. But it was,
maybe.
It was right way.
It's possible. So, I remember being a kid loving the Headbangers. Real men wear skirts.
No, that was definitely, probably a lot of people identified with. So, good pick.
I mean, honestly, I think I'm going to go back and look and see if I can get a T-shirt in my size that says "Real Men Wear Skirts" because they were just definitely in my top 5 favorites. Loved them.
If they don't have the original, I'm sure you can find a generic somewhere. They sell tons of them.
Probably. All right, now Dan Beebie, it is your turn. Who's your number 4 favorite wrestler of all time?
Number 4, I'd come in with, let's say Eddie Guerrero. Guy had an incredible passion for what he did. There was absolutely no way he didn't draw an audience for excitement when he made an entrance. And he was just an all-around, great tactical wrestler. I think he was kind of like the end of a big era for wrestling in a sense, because, so many people, even to this day, remember him and say how much like wrestling's changed since he's passed. So
yeah,
I'd have to put him at silence before.
How did you feel about him, if you remember, before he was Latino Heat? Like when he was part of the Radicals, when he was just
LWO.
Eddie Guerrero. Before all of the Viva la Raza, Latino Heat, before all of that. Do you remember if you liked him, or do you not remember? Or was it that character that just really brought him in for you? Because I remember not liking him when before Latino Heat.
So you mean like you mean like when he did like luchador wrestling stuff? Japan,
Yeah.
Or?
Well, no, even
Okay.
before when he was in WCW and his early days in WWF. That's what I'm talking about.
No, I mean I think he had that whole like sort of heel appeal, and then he sort of built on that. So, but I thought like LWO, I thought that was good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that, I wouldn't really say there was any time that he was bad, except like that whole heel thing they tried to do with him and Rey Mysterio. That was kind of
right.
dumb, but I mean overall.
Right. Got you. But yeah, so I remember distinctly not liking Eddie Guerrero at first. I just thought all of the Radicals were terrible. Seriously, did not like Saturn, did not like Malenko, did not like Benoit, did not like Guerrero. Guerrero and Saturn, when they showed personality, completely changed for me. Not that I loved either of them, but I liked them both until Saturn did that whole moppy shit. That wasn't good. But no, good choice. Good choice with Eddie Guerrero as your number 4. My number 4, here comes the first the second non-individual, and that is The Shield. The Shield made such a huge impact immediately when they came in, and even after when they broke up, all 3 members went on to be champion really quickly. So it just showed the level of trust and faith that the WWE had in the Shield carrying the tag team division, which it did, and then also trusting them to carry the singles divisions. So it was obvious that Seth Rollins was a world champion caliber wrestler, that Roman Reigns was, and that Dean Ambrose was. I loved everything about the Shield, from how they came in to how they handled themselves to how they acted and wrestled even after the split.
Yeah.
So that's why I have the Shield at number 4.
That's a solid pick as well. I mean, the fact that, when they first started, they had Dean Ambrose with the United States Championship. You could tell that they were really starting to pepper the future for all 3.
Yeah.
And then,
Wasn't it? He won. Didn't he win the United States Championship at a pay-per-view, and then the next night Rollins and Reigns won tag team championships?
I believe so, yeah. So it was another situation where you had all the gold in one stable, so to speak.
Yep, just like Undisputed Era did in NXT. But anyways, yeah. Sorry, please go on about the Shield. I can listen to how great they are all day.
Yep. No, they literally set them up to. They tore through everything. It was pretty bad era for anybody else in WWE at the time that wasn't in their group. So, and then the fact that how they always made the crowd entrances too, which is really unique.
Yeah, that and again, I go back to that whole iconic, like, can you dig it, sucker, if you smell, and all of that. I remember